Hi there, I'm Stephanie Larson with Live Consulting, and today I'm going to show you how to add a user into 360 Learning, and I'm also going to show you how to add sessions to that user. So let's say we hire a new apprentice. This is how to onboard them into 360 Learning, which is the LMS we use for A2U. So let's begin. In order to create a user or even add program sessions, you need to be logged in as Sean Trudell. He is the super admin on the account, and he has the access to do so. So first, I'm going to start with how to add a user. So everything is always going to be over here in this menu. It's going to go away if you don't put your mouse over it, so you just have to hover over it. You need to go to Dashboard and to Users. Now, once you're in here, it's pretty simple. You can see the whole list of users, you can see their activity, time spent, but we are just here to add a user. So what you need to do is click this plus sign. And how I like to do it is set up the user instead of inviting them by email. So I just click set up user. I would enter their first name here, last name, put their email, and then password. Now, it is not mandatory to define a password, as you can see here. The password would be auto-generated, and then if you want to just generate the password yourself, it has to be at least 8 characters long. So typically what I do is when I get the name of the new apprentice, I put their first name, last name, and email in, and then for their password, I just do capital A automation and then the number 1, and then I allow them to be able to change their password if they like. This way, there's no lost password via email. It just kind of makes that simple and tightens that up. They're always going to be added to the A2U groups. That's automatic. And then you just want to make sure that if it's an apprentice that you are selecting learner, because they are going to be just a learner. They don't need any other access. Now, let's say that you are going to be adding somebody who is going to be a coach. Maybe they're new to management and new to A2U, or new to A2. Then you would add them as a coach. So all the coaches are all of the department heads that we have at Automation Arts today. And then I also make sure that the default language is English, and you can select send new user credentials by email, and you can click that and set up user. What I also do after I do that is I just make sure that I send them their credentials via email from me, just to make sure that they get it. So once you have the user set up, you're just going to go back to your home page here. We're going to go back to the dashboard. Now, when you're adding a program, when you're adding a new session, it's likely that you want to go here to program sessions, but what you need to do is go to program templates. This is where all of the programs are that we have built for A2U so far. You can see how many sessions there have been, who the author is. It's all Sean Trudell because he's the super admin, and when it was last modified. Now, when you want to add a new session for that user that you just set up, what I do is I get the schedule first to make sure I know when they will be in each department. And then I just come over here and click the plus sign for create new session. I'm going to start with the Automation Arts employee onboarding, which is the first day that he or she will spend with Sean and Mike Beckwith and Tony. Now, what I have to do here is I have to make sure that I'm deliberate about the dates that they will be in that session. So you choose their first date in that session, and then what we've been doing is pushing out the due date or the to date a couple weeks after they end that part, just to give them ample time to fill out the survey, do all the work inside of the LMS. So once you have that schedule, you just need to make sure that you are entering that date. So whatever that date is, I'm just going to pick December 2nd. Now you have to select who the instructor is. So like I said, that first day is Sean, and Sean will always be selected because he is the super admin. That is perfect for what we're doing here, but let's say they were going into engineering, you'd want to make sure that you select Mike Stocklin and unselect Sean, as Sean does not need to be selected as the instructor there. So we're going to confirm Sean, and then we're going to make sure that we select the user. So for the purposes of today, I'm just going to select Sean because this is just a demo. We're going to confirm him as the individual registration. And then all of the groups or all of the sessions should be added to and tied to the A2U group. So we just confirm that. And then as you scroll down, you're going to notice for this one in particular, there is a classroom session. Now, this is because this is talking about the automation arts core values. We want to make sure that that's done in person. So that's typically the day that they're going to start the session. So what I do is I start it that day, but then again, I push that out just so that they have access again for to be able to do everything. Now, you can select virtual or you can select on site. I've been selecting on site. What this does is it notifies Sean, hey, you have a classroom session today. It's not really a classroom, as it were, the normal classroom. It's really just making sure you're sitting down with this new person and just talking through those core values. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to add Sean as the trainer, confirm that, say it's on site, and then I'm just going to say Automation Arts, Madison office. And you can see here that there is the core values here. That is a PDF that shows what the core values are and explains each one. And then just talks about department shadowing. Now, this is the entire just onboarding. Hey, we're excited to have you come work with us. It's the first day. Now, once I publish this program session, Sean is going to get an email as the instructor. He's also going to get an email as the learner. Now, typically, you're going to get Sean would get the email as, hey, heads up, the apprentice has been scheduled for their onboarding session. And then the apprentice would get an email saying, hey, welcome, we're excited to work with you. This is what we're going to be talking about that day. So I'm going to go ahead and publish the program session. Okay, so the reason that didn't work is because that time was in the past. So we're going to say 10 a.m. There we go. And then, so if that ever happens where you're hitting publish the program session, it's just not happening. It's because there's something you need to fill out. It's typically tied to that classroom session. So now that we've confirmed that, you see session creation, users will be notified at the beginning of the session, create the session. Yes, create the session. Perfect. Great. So then it just gives you this little, hey, congratulations, you've done that. So because Sean is the instructor and the student, now you're seeing it as the student, so he can start the program. This is what the student will see. So that's how you add a program session. Now, just to get back to your dashboard or your home screen, you just click that little box, and then you're back to your home screen again. If you have any questions about this or need any support on it, I'm always happy to be a resource. Again, I'm Stephanie Larson with Lift Consulting. And of course, if you are a new user with Automation Arts, or you're looking for an internal person to talk to, Sean is also a great resource.